between. So that's what's riding the offense. But let's switch it over to the other side of the ball.
Yeah.
Which team's going to have the edge on defense this Super Bowl? I'm going to take this one first. I kind of mentioned it before. I'm riding with Kansas City. I feel like that defense is finally coming together. Spags is a seasoned vet coach, been in the big games, and there's a really, really crazy stat that coaching staffs that have been to the Super Bowl before versus a coaching staff that has never been to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The winning percentage for the coaching staff that haven't been to the Super Bowl yet is 0.25 something like along the line. There's been
2
lots
out of 10 times they might win it.
Yeah, there's been I think there's been like 14 times and it's happened like 3 or 4 times along those lines.
Okay.
So it's a big deal. There's a lot of different stuff going on with the Super Bowl. There's different celebrations and things like that. So it's not like you just tee it up, kick it off, and let's play, boys. It's a long day.
Media requirements.
And you play at weird times, right? When the hell do you kick off at fucking 4:30 or whatever it is?
3:30 our time. Where are they playing? In where's the Super Bowl this year?
Arizona, yeah.
So
it's like,
right.
I don't know, Arizona, they don't change their time either. So who knows what time it's going to be in Arizona, but it's going to be weird. It's going to be a little bit different. So that helps me with the defensive side. I think Spags is going to have them boys ready to go. Chris Jones, I touched on him. He's an elite pass rusher, and he makes up for that lack of depth on the D-line by being able to move around. So with him being able to move around, it frees other guys up, and you get to be strategic. Maybe Chris Jones might not be the guy that wins it, but if he can force Lane Johnson to have to actually double team, if he can be up in Kelsey's face and have Kelsey actually have to double team and take away one of those all-pro offensive linemen, it might be the change in the game that they need. And I'm going with that. I think the back half of Kansas City's defense has always been leaky and kind of exposed.
Yeah.
And they just went up against the best, to me, ball throwing quarterback in the league right now in Joe Burrow. Joe Shiesty. And they did their thing. They held him down. They got that one rookie, Ward, I think, and he did a great job on Jamar Chase. Yeah. Chase still had a decent game.
But some good knockdown and breakups.
Yeah,
Down
exactly.
the field
like he was
really
on
playing.
him. He was on him, and that's tough to do against a guy like Jamar Chase. So right now I'm leaning Kansas City. So I don't know if you got the same thoughts.
No, I feel like we're both trending in certain directions with how we feel the Super Bowl is going to turn out. And I call your Chris Jones, and I raise you a guy by the name of Hassan Reddick, who absolutely dominated an all-world disruptor in that NFC Championship game. He was the one, obviously, who got in and busted up Purdy's elbow and a torn UCL joint and came back in the game. That's guts.
Yeah, that is pretty gangster. I'll give Brock Purdy that. But
and now he's out for 6 months. But Hassan Reddick dominated on that play. He had the fumble recovery later in that Josh Johnson off the face mask, and then it led to that touchdown right before the half that really put the Niners away. On the season, 19.5 sacks, 6 forced fumbles. So he is that disruptor that we seen last year in Aaron Donald. And what you're saying with Chris Jones, like when these guys make those plays in that 3rd and 4th down, that's the deciding factor. As much as we want to say great running backs, great O-line, talented wide receivers, Cooper Kupp did make his plays on the other end last year. But when you get someone like Aaron Donald or Hassan Reddick or Chris Jones, whoever makes those moments and the stops to get the ball back or a turnover, that could be the difference maker. But this Eagles team as a whole, 2nd overall in team defense in terms of total yards given up, 1st in pass defense. And Jason, guess what the Chiefs do so well? They pass that dang ball.
I was going to say, the one edge that the Eagles blatantly have is definitely in the secondary with Darius Slay. Yep. He's becoming one of my favorite cover corners out there in the game right now. They play great pass defense. So we'll see. Kansas City's offensive line is going to be challenged. They're going to have to keep Mahomes comfortable. I think if the Eagles win, I will agree with you, it's going to be because of their defense. Their defense is going to get after Mahomes, and they're going to have to throw him around a bit. They're going to have to be tough.
I will just remind everyone, the 2 games that the Eagles have played so far this postseason, 38-7 against the Giants, 31-7 against the 49ers. Now, we see teams score 30 points all the time in the postseason. How often do we see a team hold another team in the postseason to 7 points in back-to-back weeks? That's tough to do. Eagles are on a run with that defense.
Danny Dimes. I like Danny Dimes. I was high on Danny Dimes, and then basically versus me and you playing freaking quarterback for the Niners.
They literally could not pass the ball in the second half. They did every end around and handoff.
Suspect stat there, Jeremy.